Join a team who loves their work? Visit gsconstruction.ca today. From the first pitch to the final out, catch Toronto Blue Jays baseball games live right here. Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Sports 1440 is proud to be the home of Blue Jays baseball.
At Wendy's, get a 10-piece nugget small combo for just $8.99. That's right, $8.99 for 100% Canadian chicken, plus fries and a drink. That's just good nuggenomics. Only until June 14th. In restaurant at participating Wendy's locations. Taxes extra.
Debt can take over your life. The stress, the constant worry, it can feel like you're drowning. When people come to see me, they're often anxious and feeling hopeless. But when I explain how I can help them get out of debt, those feelings melt away. I'm Parveen Middleton, licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. I will create a personalized debt relief plan so you can move forward with confidence. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Tired of the rough ride? Alberta used to be a leader in highway planning and construction, but years of neglect and cuts to maintenance are showing. You can see it, and your vehicle is feeling it. Infrastructure can last for years with a little TLC, but when repairs are deferred, minor issues become major reconstruction. We need action and a reliable capital plan. Contact your MLA and demand stable infrastructure funding. Find out how at fixourroads.com.
A message from the Alberta Road Builders and Heavy Construction Association.
Cougar Creek Golf Resort is only minutes from Edmonton, so it's incredibly easy to fit in the perfect summer game anytime. Enjoy our championship-length golf course surrounded by trees and rolling terrain. Book a tee time today. Go to cougarcreekgolf.com.
You haven't set your lineup yet, right? It's Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440.
Presented by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
$7:00. Good morning. Thank you for joining us here on Fantasy Frenzy. Brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky, online at willhawkbeefjerky.com. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick here with you from the Sports 1440 studios in West Edmonton Mall. Hope you guys are not getting too wet out there as the rain continues in our city. Hopefully it slows down tomorrow, but from what I see, it's going to be back Thursday, Friday. So get used to it. It's going to be good in like 10 days when it stops and the grass is green and the streets are clean. It's going to be fantastic. Lots to discuss on the show today. Of course, Game 1, Stanley Cup Final gets going tonight. 6:00 from North Carolina. The Canes coming in as the slight favorites in this one. Tickets as low as $668 for those of you maybe looking to buy a last-minute ticket. We got the NBA Finals getting going tomorrow. Major League Baseball rolling on. Blue Jays head to Atlanta to take on the Braves, 5:15. We'll join that game in progress here on Sports 1440. AM dial immediately following the Jason Greger show. How about Canada last night? 2-0 win over the Uzbeks. Could have been down early. Number 14 for Uzbekistan has to score on his breakaway. This is a sport where I feel I can be critical. Played a little soccer in my life. You got to score there. But doesn't get the job done. Canada answers. And pretty good crowd. Shout out to all of you that made it out there in that rain. We got the game, the replay on here right now, and love the ponchos. We got to maybe sync up a little bit and get like all red ones, but the rainbow in the crowd looks pretty cool. And nice little win. Canada now heading to Montreal for a friendly with Ireland. Just because it's in Quebec doesn't mean it's French. Ireland on Friday before kicking things off against Bosnia. We also have the Duke returning to the studio after a much-needed long weekend. Duke, how you doing?
I'm back.
You weren't relaxing yesterday.
Not really, no. In fact, especially my trip home turned to the opposite of that because people driving down the highway, no lights on, the rain. They seem to think that requires them to drive 30 kilometers below the speed limit. Very frustrating. But no, it was a good weekend all the same, Connor. I'm not going to lie to you. I had a good time back home doing some mic work for the annual Red Deer and District 4-H beef show and sale. They had the sale last night. I was not there for it. Hopefully everybody got some good prices. A little jangle in the jeans for all the kids and their hard work with their projects all year. So yeah, always happy to go back and help them out with that operation.
A little jangle in the jeans. I like that line. Quickly, I know you also bought a nice little AC unit from the Brick over the weekend.
Yes.
How's the condo right now?
Well, cold, but that's not due to the air conditioner. I turned my heat off already, like a month ago. I'm not turning it back on.
No.
Not that it's like requires me to light a furnace or anything like that, as it has for me in the past at times in other places I've lived. It's just a matter of principle. Like, I'm not turning the furnace on in June. Sorry. So the air conditioner, it's set up. So color me ignorant here, Connor. I did not think that when you bought one of these little portable ones, it's literally on wheels, and it just sits. I kind of thought, and once again, I'm an idiot. I'm fully admitting it. I just kind of thought, all right, yeah, I'll plug it in, set it in the corner, whatever, and it'll cool down my house. You do still need to like run the tubing out a window or something, because the hot air that blows out the back of it in the process of it cooling, it would be very counterintuitive. Cold air out the front, hot air out the back. What are you really accomplishing? So that was a little bit of an awakening for me when I was unboxing it on Friday afternoon and trying to get it set up. But a valuable lesson learned. Got it figured. No big deal. And now I'm looking forward to a crisp summer rather than the very few days of intense heat last week that I had to endure up on the 5th floor.
So when I asked you last week if you had to have it like through a window or something, and you said no.
Well, it's not because I was thinking more along the lines of that's for those actual like window mounted ones, right? They like sit on your windowsill and they take up the entire thing. That's what I was envisioning. But no, even for the floor model ones, if you want to call it, they do still need to vent somewhere. And so that, took a little longer to get it installed than I had originally expected, which was take it out of the box, plug it in, and fire it up.
I was so envious by this new technology you had. I'm like, this is sick.
Where has this come from? It's a real advancement in the industry. But no, and it's cool. Like I can control it from my phone with an app. So even when I'm not home, like before I leave for work on a day, not like today when it's actually hot out, we're like, yeah, I'm just going to fire it up half hour before I get home, and the apartment will be cool by the time I arrive.
Yeah.
And then ditto, like overnight, just set a little timer to turn off in 15 more minutes. So it's nice and cool while I fall asleep, but not blasting cold air all night long. I've entered another entire phase of my life here, Connor. This is a big change for me.
I like it. I'm happy for you. It is
Thank
interesting.
you.
It has an app. Our old dishwasher had an app. Like dishes are done.
That's crazy.
Okay, like this. Yeah, it's weird, but for you, it's actually functional. That makes a lot of sense.
In a world, there's an app for everything.
Yeah,
every restaurant, every delivery service, every appliance in your home. Yeah, I have apps for my air conditioner and my vacuum.
Oh yeah, you need that for the vacuum. Just a little roster note: the Edmonton Elks signing defensive back Tyson Blackburn to the roster. Previous 2 years in Calgary, spent a little time in our fair city with the Golden Bears from 2019 to 2024. So there you go. Edmonton Elks adding to their secondary. For those of you curious, they are practicing today. They've got, they're going in about 3 minutes. They'll practice till 1 o'clock. And then tomorrow, you've got 10:45 to 12:50. And then on Thursday, 10:35 to 12:15 before they head out to our nation's capital for a game on Saturday, 5 o'clock. Again, if you want to come watch that one with me for the Elks watch party, we'll be in Sherwood Park going to, we're going to Sherlock's this time. So looking forward to that. Get some great food, maybe win some prizes, have some drink specials as well if you want to come join us. Duke, I should also ask you, you went to the Riverhawks game on Friday, correct? You waited out the rain?
Yes.
How did it go?
It was good. Like it was obviously very delayed, much like the Elks game down at Clark. It was well after 8 o'clock by the time the first pitch ended up getting thrown, which for those that were willing to tough it out, they actually got a pretty nice night at the park by the time, as long as you had something to maybe mop up the water on your seat and didn't end up with just a wet pair of jeans like I did, sitting into the puddles. The rest of the night was beautiful. Sun came out again. Nice. There lots of hits. The Riverhawks ultimately fell to the Apple Sox in the game, but not due to lack of action. I had my 4-year-old nephew with me, so after sitting around for an hour, his mojo had been depleted pretty good of the excitement about the baseball game. He loves baseball, but at that time, it was a lot of, when are they going to start? What's happening? What's going on? I was like, all right. So we stayed for, I think, 2 or 3 innings. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, great night out of the park. Good to get out. Looking forward to making a return many more times this summer, hopefully. With the weather being a little bit better and less responsibilities, I can tie one off. People love getting into it at the Riverhawks games, man. I'm just like looking around, and 65 generously on the low side % of the people are just hammered drunk. And hey, why not? Beautiful night at the park.
Well, especially when the rain hits, like what else
then
do you
everyone
do?
just crowding onto the concourse, and like as I was full expectation when I got there with my nephew to, like, we'll get hot dogs, we'll get some popcorn, and maybe I'll have a beer, and if he wants a soda or something. We get there, the line, every single person in the building is on the concourse of Remax Field, almost 7,000 of them. You can't even move. And I was like, listen, Bryson, I love you. We're not waiting in these lines. We'll grab something maybe when we're leaving and enjoy on our walk back to the truck or something. And even then, the lines were still crazy long. So another time for that element of the ballpark experience.
I think under those circumstances, if you're a male aged 18 to 35, you just got to fight the rain. You got to take it. You got to let that, like, you're there with a little kid. You got to let the little kid hide.
So when we got there, because we were late, because by the time I picked him up and made our way downtown, it was like 7:30. Didn't miss any of the game, obviously, right? But at that point, pretty much we get in, work our way through the masses on the concourse to the kind of end where our seats were designated in the bleachers, and rain pretty much stopped. So we were good to go sit out, like I said, just try and dry off a spot on the stainless steel and pop a squat, soak up what's remaining there with your pants, and didn't really get that much more wet over the course. It was still drizzling a little bit, but he had his raincoat. I had a coat on. We were fine to sit out there. Well, now when it's actually pouring for the hour that immediately preceded that, yeah, I'm with you. Like, make way for. Call us old-fashioned, Connor, but women and children first.
100%. Man, when that used to happen at Esks games back in the day, unless there was lightning, I would just be like, let's just eat it, You can only get wet to a certain extent.
Once you're wet, you're wet.
Exactly. It's just take it.
And I say that as somebody that at times back at the farm where you're out moving cattle around or out doing a task and you have your, call it, raincoat on, but you get in of it, and it is literally to your bones. Like, every bit of your skin feels saturated with moisture. You feel heavier. But you get to that point pretty quickly if it's really raining on.
Yeah. And then you just gotta, hey,
just tough it out.
You're gonna get a cold. That's just gonna happen.
Josh Fenwick, I see him more as the type like George Costanza in the Clown episode, where there's a fire in the kitchen and he's like pushing women and children out of the way to make it to the exit. He's in the same boat with the rain. He's like picking up kids and using them as human umbrellas over his head. He's already had 6 beer bats at the Riverhawks game. He's just torqued.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I could see it. Bud Baker texts, hey, BD, you also got to drain the water at the back of the AC every so often. Should be a plug at the bottom. I learned the hard way. So good advice from Bud.
That is, and it said that in my instructions. This is a smart, I'm putting my air quotes around, smart air conditioner. It tells me when it needs to be emptied. You can actually just run a hose out and it drains like continuously. I don't really have anywhere to run that hose because it can't like go up and out the window, which I don't think would be very friendly either. Just dumping window water out the side of my apartment all the time. So yeah, I get a little notification. It like turns off or whatever and says empty water tray. So hopefully that works and tells me and I don't end up with a mess.
I hope so, for your sake. Well, the cats will lick it up. No mess. Earlier today, Zach Werenski winning the Norris Trophy. For those of you who hadn't seen it yet, Kel McCarr finishing second, Rasmus Delaney third, Evan Bouchard fourth, Zach Werenski getting 113 first place votes. Bouchard got 12. 22 second place and 36 third place. Also a bunch of fourth and fifth place votes. Some interesting names at the bottom. Adam Fox got 1 fifth place vote. That must have been a sympathy vote. Charlie McAvoy got 3 plus 1 fourth place. And then Matthew Schaefer actually got a couple fourth place votes and a few fifths as well. So Interesting. Darren Radish got one third place vote. I like when the
deserved.
Red
He had a
put them
great
out there.
season.
He did. He burst onto the scene, and he's a free
UFA,
agent, right?
He's about to cash in. That's a guy I could just see the Toronto Maple Leafs just throwing a whole bucket of money at because their decor is so bad.
So he's 30 years old. He'll turn 31 mid-season. For those keeping track at home, he burst into the NHL in 2021, 2022, played 4 games. The following year, 17 games, had a goal. 2023, 2024, 82 games, 6 goals. Last year, 73 games, 6 goals. But 31 helpers, not too shabby. And then this year, holy smokes, Duke, 73 games, 22 goals, 48 assists, good for 70 points as a 30-year-old. Did this guy play with Connor McDavid in Erie?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or is that Taylor Radish? Both.
Maybe both. But like busted his butt in the AHL for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 years before getting a legit shot in the NHL. And it paid off. How much would you pay him? Does 30 years old bother you in the NHL,
Well,
Duke?
the thing with age, to me, it always just goes down, like it boils down to more the term rather than the dollar figure. Like if he's a good player at 30, I'll pay him the same as I would a good player that's on an AAV that's 27. But I'm more inclined to go, 3 or 4 year deal as opposed to a 7 as a UFA that can't extend with his own team. Now, since this is the last summer, we'll get the opportunity for 7 and 8 year deals with the new CBA. Then I think Radish will be looking to get some security, and as a result, maybe takes a little bit of a lower AAV to get a few more years tacked on. What does that look like? Like he's a $6 million defenseman, no doubt about it. How much higher than that does it go? Well, I think that might depend on how many years he wants to sign for. But like, he's a top 4 guy. Point production's there with a Tampa Bay team that he had to pick up a lot of slack because of how banged up the blue line was for especially early in the year. Yeah, like $7.5 million. I don't think that's crazy.
When you look at him, just like you said, had to pick up some of the slack here, 70 points. To me, I don't know if that's going to be consistent. But if he's a 35, 40-point player.
Oh, even like
still valuable.
50-point defenseman on a more expected basis, this explosion is almost certainly going to stand out as his career high when it's all said and done. Oh, if it's not, hey, power to him. Way to continue to up your game in your early 30s. But at what's the going rate for a 40 to 50-point D-man that can run a power play, can kill penalty, can play in all situations? I think that's, even if he's a second pairing D-man, that's still well over $7 million. Jake Wallman's making $7 million. And he doesn't really do anything.
7 years as well. EG says, I think he'll get 6 years, 7 to 8 million. Yeah, I'm with you. What do you think when it comes to Connor Bedard, Mr. Duke?
So I saw you guys had a Blackhawks guest on yesterday. I didn't get a chance to check out the interview. It was actually kind of right as I was getting ready to leave Red Deer and stuff. But anyway,
because he had said 8 years, but then he's like, at the same time though, maybe he shines short term and tries to cash in a little more.
A second big deal. And does he like Chicago? Does he want to commit there for the full stretch? If I'm the Hawks, I essentially just say what's the number? Right. And
14.
And it's funny because we haven't seen Bedard really dominate over a full stretch of time as we have, say, the draft pick number 1 overall the year following in Macklin Celebrini, who has another great world championships. He seems to have already passed him on a power ranking list in the vast majority, if not everyone's mind. But Bedard is still, look at how good he was to start this season before he got hurt. He was right there with the likes of Celebrini, McDavid, and others for the top of the league in points. I'm doing everything I can to make it 8 years and buy those UFA years at, what are we talking, $14 million bucks?
Mm-hmm.
You're not paying him Kaprizov money. Can you justify paying him more than someone like Leon Draisaitl? Even if you're buying that many years in the future, I'm not sure you can. So I think 8 years at $14 million would be a pretty good spot.
I'm with you. And yeah, Leon Draisaitl money, he was having a really good start to the season before the injury. It was brought up 4th in the league when he was hurt. More points than Leon Draisaitl at the time. The injury set him back, but the way he's grown, I think he's taken steps. you got to look at the value to your franchise as well. This is a guy who I think can be the face of the franchise. So it's steep, but the cap's going up. I think that's probably the direction it's going. We'll take a break here. Just quickly, Kyle says he's on Highway 2 right now. Nothing's changed. So it's people being cautious out there on the road. Just turn your lights on. I did notice today on the Hyundai, a good chunk of people had the lights on, but not everyone yet. So we'll keep spreading the good word. We'll take a break. When we come back, get to more of your texts, 1-833-401-1440. It's Fantasy Frenzy, brought to you by Wilhock Beef Jerky.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Ranger-oni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Beer League Slow Pitch. It's an Alberta summer tradition.
I got shortstop. I'll take pitcher. Yeah, I'm just here for the dugout snacks.
When you're playing on the field, you need serious fuel, and there's only one MVP. Wilhock Beef Jerky. Load up on Alberta's best beef jerky and hit a home run with the team. It's the perfect snack for your summer sports.
Wilhock Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit japaequipment.com or stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This deal is only good till 6 o'clock tonight. We need your credit card to hold the color. Hold the color. Summer package. Winter package. And the ever-famous re-PDI fee. I gotta pay you to rebuild the car? Does this sound familiar? At Northgate, we do things differently. We offer 0% financing, a great selection of new, pre-owned vehicles. So if you'd like to do business a different way, stop in and see us today. 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
It doesn't start on game day. It starts before kickoff, before the first snap. It starts with you locking in your season seats. This is Edmonton Elks football. The only way to experience it is being there for every hit, catch, and touchdown. The Elks home opener kicks off June 20th against Montreal. Your season seats are your way in. Get yours now at goelks.com/season seats. Edmonton Elks. Our city, our year.
Good to go. With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. MortgagesToGo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly, guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say, I'm good to go.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
Your favorite teams, your favorite sports. This spring, catch all the action at Selly's Sports Bar and Lounge. Never a bad seat in the house. The finals are here, and Selly's has game day food and drink specials, plus a championship menu with something for everyone. From great goals to thrilling three-pointers to huge home runs. Spring brings the best to the big screens at Selly's Sports Bar and Lounge at all 3 Century Casino locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Every day is game day at Century Casino.
Tired of the rough ride? Alberta used to be a leader in highway planning and construction, but years of neglect and cuts to maintenance are showing. You can see it, and your vehicle is feeling it. Infrastructure can last for years with a little TLC, but when repairs are deferred, minor issues become major reconstruction. We need action and a reliable capital plan. Contact your MLA and demand stable infrastructure funding. Find out how at fixourroads.com.
A message from the Alberta Road Builders and Heavy Construction Association.
Get the inside scoop for your team on Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wilhock Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
It's 11:24. Welcome back to Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wilhock Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Online, willhockbeefjerky.com. Only available in Leduc. Go pay him a visit. Head out on the highway, go 30 below the speed limit, get there safe, and grab your bag of beef jerky and more. Peruse the menu while you're there. And maybe talk to Trent. Ask him how he's feeling about Dak Prescott this year. Top 5 fantasy quarterback? Maybe. This segment's for elksnation.ca. Of course, they have 2 weekly podcasts and video blogs, episodes. Declan Kruger and Eddie Steele breaking down the green and gold, who kick off their regular season this Saturday in Ottawa, 5 o'clock. Deck's just traveling the world right now, getting a little vacation in, but he'll be back, I believe, on Friday. So they'll have fresh content coming out soon. elksnation.ca articles as well. The text rolling in here. MTR and the Duke just getting into it about AC. I never had AC, like one of those little portable ones, in my life. But then we moved into a new house and got it, Duke. I don't think I could live without it. I think I've gone soft.
Like your current house, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you have central AC.
We do. Not a little
I
unit.
think a lot. Well, yeah, for an entire house to try and cool it with just like a window unit or something, I think would be a bit of an effort and futility.
Be wild.
Your house is, very nice and large. Even at the farm, we never had it growing up, and we just lived in a trailer.
That blows my mind. I didn't know that. I thought you guys had like a big farmhouse.
No, that was Granny and Grandpa's house on the other side of the yard. Just the two of them.
Because you had 3 sisters.
Yeah,
I had 2 sisters, and like in a house, it was a lot.
Oh, it was crazy, man. I tell you what. But then after, anyways, we talked about this last week. Then after I had left, and my dad and getting into his, at the time would have been, I guess, mid to late 50s. He's like, I've had enough of this. Buys one of those window units and just installs and uninstalls it every spring and fall from the living room window that's like out onto the deck. And that changed everything. So a unit like that has no problem cooling down a small house like the trailer is. But in a bigger place, that would take a long time. I would think you'd have to have it running like 24/7.
You might have to buy 2.
Then all of a sudden your power bill's pretty steep.
It's true. A little text here from AZ. Hey guys, what did you think of the game last night? 46,000 in the pouring rain. Same number as the Azteca. I would love it if Mother Nature played nice and the national team comes to town, because I feel like the rest of the country forgets how invested Edmonton is for our national teams. It's been 11 years since I've seen a completely full stadium at a sporting event with a Women's World Cup. Hopefully we don't have to wait another 4 years to see the men or women play. Yeah, I mean, the games in 2021 were awesome because it was November, and like that was, hey, we're Canadian. You make us go play these games in Mexico in the heat. You're going to come to the snow, and we're going to have that advantage. And it was unbelievable. I was there for both of those games. So much fun. And yesterday in the mall, just walking around, like, hey, when Morgan Wallen was in town, I knew it. When the playoffs were on for the Oilers, I knew it. I knew there was a Canadian soccer game yesterday just by walking around the mall, because how many people were wearing the gear getting ready to go. I thought it was fantastic. I sat this one out. I'm soft in my old age, but the crowd was great. The performance was good. Osario, great to see him score a goal. The goaltending, I thought, held up. I thought Nelson, even before scoring a goal, had a really nice run. I like him to maybe get that final spot on the team. I'm so happy that the World Cup is back. You know, we got the taste of it a couple years ago with Canada participating, but to have it on North American soil, I think is really cool. And I'm loving it. I can't wait. I kind of get goosebumps, Duke, when we're watching this because it's going to be such a good event. Alphonso Davies, we'll see how the hamstring is. I mean, that's the problem for Canada right now. Just the injuries they're lingering and piling up at the same time, but no excuses. You get out there, you get an opportunity, and have to handle your business. You just got a huge save as well because we're watching the replay here in studio. Uzbekistan could have been up 2-0 at halftime.
Crepeau was excellent, I thought, in the first half.
He was. He really was. I thought, the goaltending kind of... He had more opportunities to make saves.
Yes, and I know that's kind of like one of the positions that is still being pretty hotly debated, contested here between the two guys who each see some action. I don't know what the plan is for the game in Montreal, if it's going to be ditto where they split. You lean in one way or the other, Connor?
After last night, Crepeau, I think, is where I'd be leaning. I mean, we'll have to see how it all plays out. Is it Dane St. Clair? Is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
The other main competitor in this battle. But yeah, I think after the saves he made, like that one off the free kick, the header, like that was a bang play. Great reaction time by him. Earlier on, like I said, 14 probably should have scored for Uzbekistan. I would like to see him be a little more aggressive.
Had nowhere to shoot, took down the angle.
Well, there was a couple, but there was one I would have liked to see him be a little more aggressive and come out and play the ball. But geez, his instincts are way better than mine. He sees it far better than I do. But yeah, I thought that probably he got a bit of the advantage last night. That can all change. But shout out to those of you who went out to the game. I saw
the elements.
Donovan, who's already sick. He's like, I can't get any sicker. I'm just going to go sit in the cold and watch some footy.
Try and smuggle in a little Mickey fireball or something.
I think you might have to. Heat it up. Get the body warm.
Heat yourself up. a little fire belly.
Yeah. Jay Victoria says, guys, Frank this morning didn't have Gavin McKenna going first overall. What does your top three look like? Well, Gavin McKenna's in my top three. That's for sure. Stenberg, I like him. Chase Reed. Would the Canucks take Malhotra third overall, or is that like a no-go, you think?
Too much nepotism.
Too much.
A little's okay. Third overall, too much.
I don't know. I feel like, we see this all the time in the NFL where a guy's like the consensus number one overall pick, and then you get to that spot a week or two, a month before the draft where it's like, well, let's just try to tear him down. How can we make him seem not worthy of the number one overall pick?
And it doesn't help in this case. Like we saw Stenberg at the World Championships.
Mm-hmm.
Played really well, as did Viggo Bjork, who is kind of considered the second centerman in what's a pretty weak center draft at the top after Malhotra. Could he contend to overtake Malhotra? Like there are just so many things still up in the air that I believe McKenna will go first to Toronto. And then I think the Sharks will trade out of the second spot. Even if it's just down I just can't. I get it. Like you like what you have in Stenberg or C there. If you really want to turn a corner here, like you need to have some high-end defensemen ready to contribute in the next few years. You can get one of those in this draft. And you can take really like whoever your scouts say the best one is, but are you going to leave Stenberg on the board or McKenna? Let's just say Stenberg does end up going first to take one of them at second, where maybe there's a team that is really covets the remaining guy, and you can trade down even just a few spots, get some sort of other asset, and still get the defenseman you want, or just a defenseman of this group of 4 or 5 guys that are all kind of in the same class, according to most scouts.
So would you say we're talking Chase Reed?
I think Chase Reed is a fit. I think Keaton Vierhoff would be a fit.
He's got the size. You like that?
You love that. I think Veerhoff might be a little bit of a longer-term project to be a real contributor at the NHL level. Despite like his size is there, but just watching him at the World Juniors and his college year, Frozen Four, all these facets. I think a guy like Reed, Carson Carls, maybe are a little bit more likely to contribute in the short term.
Mm-hmm.
And then, there's a local connection here with Daxon Rudolph playing at NAX. People have him kind of in the same breath as all those guys as well, even with a little bit more offensive upside maybe too. So it's interesting. This is one of the more intriguing top ends of the draft because outside of just like a 1-2 split, I'd be like, there's so many different variations of what could fall out, starting right at number 1, where it does not seem like a bona fide consensus now.
Yeah, like so let's say it isn't McKenna, and then you're the San Jose Sharks, and you're like, okay, I'm dangling that second overall pick in case the team wants to come up, but you don't want to go too far back and not get one of your top tier defensive prospects. We don't see it quite as much in the NHL with that like slight jockeying for position, but I'm here for it. I would love to see a couple moves, team drop back just a little bit. The Edmonton Oilers, of course, will not have a selection in this draft in the first round at least, but it's going to be interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the Maple Leafs should have good Gavin McKenna no matter what on a notepad. But
Connor, I just really want to quickly, 4 minutes ago, the Nashville Predators, Chris McFarland has been hired as their president of hockey ops and general manager. And for those that may not be familiar, as of yesterday, he was the general manager of the Colorado Avalanche.
He was granted permission this morning, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Or was it yesterday?
Well, semantics. But at some point in the last 24 hours, that took shape. The Avalanche are like, I guess, yeah, if you want to pursue other options, go nuts. Now all of a sudden they need a new GM.
So McFarland was with the Blue Jackets, assistant GM with Scott Housen, little Oilers connection there, then did the same job with the Avalanche until Joe Sakic moved on, right?
Well, Sakic essentially just like promoted internally and McFarland got his job. And Sakic still, I would think, very involved in a lot of the hockey decisions and whatnot. But according to Emily Kaplan of ESPN, it seems like Sakic will kind of just take the reins here through draft free agency until they can get a more comprehensive search to find their next GM rather than trying to rush it here ahead of the start of the offseason.
Yeah, it would have been 2022 when Sakic transitioned to the president of hockey operations. So interesting. A team allowing their GM to move on.
The GM that was still doing the job.
Yeah.
Not even a guy they'd set on a side burner.
That's interesting. I wonder what led to that. I mean, McFarland put together a heck of a team, obviously ousted by Vegas Golden Knights just recently here.
Yeah, this almost kind of feels like the Avalanche are saying, we were mulling our options about what to do. Is like, do we fire our coach? Do we make a change at GM? Like, you have to credit McFarland on some of the swings he's taken, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you move on from Rantanen, and there are some reports that those negotiations were a little lopsided where Rantanen wanted this and the Avs essentially said, there's no chance. See ya. Without give any validity to how much it warrants talking to your other superstars, McKinnon, Makar, and getting their opinions on moving on from a player like Rantanen, right? Some say you should talk to them. Others say that's not their job. It's the manager's job. But either way, you get a good return in Natchez. You turn around and get Brett Kulak in season this year. That was a great ad. You bring back Nazem Kadri, on and on. These were all leading towards, a President's Trophy winning team poised to run through the Western Conference. And they just got hurt / cold at the wrong time and get dispatched by Vegas in a sweep nonetheless. So, yeah, I wonder if the Avalanche were maybe just kind of him and Han and saying, you know what? Yeah, go ahead, see what's out there. If you don't like it, we're happy to maybe have you back. But if not, we're ready to go in a different direction.
Yeah. Kyle says teams are allowed to give permission to speak to their employees. I thought that was forbidden. Only in certain circumstances, Kyle. Yeah, that's interesting. So good for the Nashville Predators. Get a guy who clearly is good at his job. And for Colorado, on to the next one, I suppose. We'll do a quick break here. When we return, we'll let you know what's coming up on the Lowdown Flow Tide and the Jason Greger Show. It's Fantasy Frenzy on on Sports 1440, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and Twitch, brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
A lot of you love hockey season. But when it comes to construction season, you're not as excited unless you work for GS Construction. It's true. As one season is winding down, ours is winding up with all sorts of great projects to make the city we live in better. And our team is hiring. GS Construction is scouting for pipe layers, topmen, and heavy equipment operators. So if you want to score a great job, visit gsconstruction.ca today.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3. Saving you more money, with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Air conditioning from Legacy Heating and Cooling is like a country love song because you always know exactly what you're getting. Cause girl, you're hotter than Tennessee, cooler than Legacy's AC, blowing that southern breeze over me. Wheat fields, cold beer, pickup trucks, John Deere. You see, Legacy is that predictable because Legacy always has AC in stock and will install it faster than a truck burning down a back road. Plus, no interest and no payments for 1 year. That's how you lasso your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
From the first pitch to the final out, catch Toronto Blue Jays baseball games live right here. Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Sports 1440 is proud to be the home of Blue Jays baseball.
Hey there, it's Brandon Douglas from Sports 1440. I was tired of slow, unreliable internet connections, so I signed up for Starlink. It's fast, reliable even in bad weather, and has made streaming for movie nights and online gaming so much better. The summer doesn't mean a break from watching sports, and I've been streaming all the games seamlessly when at the family farm, despite the remote location. If you're ready for a better internet experience, you can order online in 2 minutes at starlink.com/radio or call 1-888-GO-STARLINK.
At Wendy's, get a 10-piece nugget small combo for just $8.99. That's right, $8.99 for 100% Canadian chicken, plus fries and a drink. That's just good nuggenomics. Only until June 14th. In restaurant at participating Wendy's locations. Taxes extra.
Cougar Creek Golf Resort is only minutes from Edmonton, so it's incredibly easy to fit in the perfect summer game anytime. Enjoy our championship-length golf course, surrounded by trees and rolling terrain. Book a tee time today. Go to cougarcreekgolf.com.
Saúde boa, tchau.
Who should start? Who needs to hit the bench? Find out with Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
$11:41. Welcome back. It is Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas with you here. Taking your text at 1-833-401-1440. Glad to have you along with us today. We appreciate it. As always, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, and give us a like. Or if you haven't yet, go subscribe. Sports 1440 AM on YouTube. Show is brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky. Text lines 1-833-401-1440. Coming up next, it's the Lowdown with Low Tide. We'll be joined by Dave Spadaro. Look at the Philadelphia Eagles trading A.J. Brown to the New England Patriots. We'll also hear from Zach Lang of Oilers Nation. Then today on the Jason Gregor Show, we have got lots going on. Dave McCarthy, Terry Ryan will join us. We'll also be joined by Spec. Michael Chan going to join us, new GM of the Edmonton Oil Kings. So lots to get to. Keep it locked here on Sports 1440. And we got Blue Jays baseball as they're in Atlanta taking on the Braves, 5:15. We'll join it at 6 o'clock following the Gregor Show on the AM feed. If you're streaming, it's Fox Sports Radio. Duke, who's your favorite rapper from Atlanta?
Ludacris.
Good answer. Good answer.
That takes me back to my youth. He was kind of in his prime. I was first, much like the air conditioner conversation about how I didn't know they existed. Discovering hip hop music really changed my world.
Good pick. MTR says Future.
The Release Therapy album.
That was your one?
That was like my first full, like, there were songs before that I'd come across, but then I like am growing up kind of like learning what an actual album is and stuff, and this was like iTunes, right?
Yeah.
The birth of iTunes. And I'm just shelling out 99 cents at a time, wasting my entire 4-H check on iTunes gift cards just to fill my iPod Nano with bangers. And that album, it had them, man. Moneymaker.
Yeah, see, like, if we're different ages, and that would, like, for me, I feel like I had moved on past Luda at that point.
You're more chicken and beer guy?
Go back. Word of mouth.
Okay.
Saturday, banger. Welcome to Atlanta. It was always a good one as well. But I think I would go Outcast for me.
Right. And see, I know the hits.
You need the deep cuts.
Yeah, definitely not a deep cut of Outcast kind of guy. I like him a lot. Andre 3K is great.
Outstanding.
Plus the other guy.
Big boy.
Yeah.
The other guy.
All due respect.
They did that album together when they each kind of had like their single album, little collabs. Big Boys was great. I think those feel like the two big ones you and I picked. T.I. was another good one though.
Oh yeah. T.I. was awesome.
Jeezy.
He's from Atlanta?
Per the internet. I looked up Atlanta.
Are like all good rappers from Atlanta? Isn't Childish Gambino from Atlanta? Or was that just his show?
I don't know. Per the internet and Google's AI, Future, Young Thug, Lil Baby, 21 Savage. Killer Mike is from Atlanta too. You gotta put him high up there. He's pretty good. Anyways.
It says
even 2 Chainz.
Oh!
Akon?
No, Akon's from St. Louis.
Are you sure?
I know he owned a bunch of, and it's funny, I actually just saw an interview about this because he's kind of like making a little comeback right now. Or trying to. Akon is coming to Edmonton this summer. Tickets not cheap, as it turns out. People still love Akon. I digress. When he was like stealing cars and stuff and being hood rat and criminal, he like would just rent for his cash-based business. It was all like through studios is how he kind of laundered his money. I think that was out of Atlanta. But yeah, when his family immigrated to America, I believe it was in Missouri. That's where they landed.
So he's your favorite St. Louis rapper over
Nelly. It's pretty
Murphy
good.
Lee.
Tech 9, I guess, is more Kansas City than St. Louis, but still Mizzou.
Chiefs fan. That's his only downfall.
Well, it depends. Some people might view that as an upside, like Chiefs fans.
What about Chingy?
Not familiar.
Jaquan? You don't know Chingy?
I know Jaquan. I don't know. Could I name a Jaquan song? Maybe not.
Tipsy?
Well, okay. Yeah.
Everybody in the club?
Yeah.
Getting tipsy?
There you go.
You don't know Chingy?
No.
Right there?
Okay, so I know that song. I don't know who sang it.
Holiday Inn with Snoop?
God, I feel so out of touch now. It's like,
yeah.
You're just exposing me. Well, let's play the same game with country artist Connor, and then we'll see who looks like they don't know anything.
Well, yeah, I was going to say you were like 10. Teen drinking is very bad. I got a fake ID, though. That's how the song starts.
So this is very hypocritical of you because, as discussed many times in the show, you were not up to that activity as a teenager. You were a straight-laced loser.
Wow. I was focused on my studies, of course.
No, I think it was more so your athletics and your video games.
We played a lot of sports growing up, not much boozing. But that song came out in 2004. So a year later, I was legal and I could get down with it. Versus I bought Chingy's greatest hits and it was just one song. Yeah. I give him 2. But one was because Snoop, I think. Shay from Hamilton says, Outcast for me as well. Attaboy Connor. Outcast, the only correct answer from Nikki Northside. I went to the Space and Science Center. I went to a laser show with Outcast music. It was awesome.
I could see that being sick.
He was. Imitation Tom just kind of blew my mind with the fact about T.I. You guys forgot Crisscross. Yeah, so even like that would be before my time. Word of Mouth, great album from Ranger Nick. Totally agree. But yes, to your point, if you started asking me country artists, I would be like a fish out of water. I would have no idea. Never got into it.
All the hillbillies.
Yeah.
My kinfolk.
I mean, hey, I'm getting into it a little bit more with CFCW here, but it's like the older type of country music.
Which is the best kind.
I think you're right. E.g., just going back to the news with McFarland going to the Preds, says, I thought you don't give permission to a divisional rival. It's true. That was what people might think. But the Colorado Avalanche operate differently. If you want to go somewhere, go for it. Have an interview. See if it's better there. The Preds have an interesting team to work with. Nick and Graham Prairie says, I believe... Oh, I think there's a 2-texter here. From everything I've seen, the Avs had the lowest budget of NHL teams off the ice. Very good chance McFarland was the lowest paid GM in the NHL. I would assume he got a massive raise in Nashville. Have you ever heard that about the Avs, Duke?
Well, actually, yeah. And funnily enough, that's another thing that Frank Saravalli had brought up with Kevin this morning. Like, so they're owned by Stan Kroenke, who is one of the wealthiest sports owners in the world. Owns the LA Rams, who are going to be forking over. Yeah, maybe this is a cost-cutting move for Stan Kroenke. He's like, we need to be able to pay Myles Garrett's salary. Sorry, Chris McFarland, you're done. Joe Sakic, you need to do 2 jobs again. And he owns the one, I can't remember what EPL team, but it's a very prominent one. Apologies for not having it on hand, but
Arsenal,
thank you. That, yeah, he's a little on the frugal side, I guess. I don't know, but I do know that McFarland, was not one of the highest paid guys, and the Avalanche probably looked at it and said, yeah, if you want to go over there and see if they're going to pay you way more, Godspeed to you. We're not going to do that. It's funny because you don't think of the Avalanche as being a cost-cutting organization, right? Like, you don't hear the stories of, say, for the likes of Tom Dundon out of Carolina and stuff, about putting up acquired players' wives in the airport Motel 6. You don't hear that out of Colorado, but maybe it's true.
Kroenke owns the Avs, Nuggets, Rapids, Mammoth, Rams, and then...
Not the Utah Mammoth.
No, Colorado Mammoth, sorry. NLL.
That's the NLL team,
yeah,
right?
The lacrosse team. And then, of course, the Arsenal men's and women's teams. So I wonder, what do you think his net worth is?
10 billion?
2-time Super Bowl champion, 2-time Stanley Cup, NBA, MLS, NLL, and the most recent Premier League champion. And he owns a couple ranches as well, which I don't know what they are, but they have their own Wikipedia pages, so they're pretty important, I would think.
Do you not have the answer to his net worth?
Oh, I closed it. Just a hand. 2026 net worth is 26.8 billion.
Damn.
He shouldn't be cheap.
That's a lot of billions.
He could make the GM the highest paid GM in sport and not even notice it. But I guess you don't get rich by giving away money.
That's what they say.
That's funny. 1-833-401-1440 BC Oilers says some NHL organizations have a bit of class. Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of a good way to operate business. I know the Elks, Eskimos in the past had like situations where they'd had teams asking, and you don't hesitate. You say, yeah, sure. Go talk to another team. Like a chance to grow. I think that's a good thing to have. That being said, at the same time, Vegas Golden Knights, they're not breaking any rules. They're maybe not making any new friends by doing this sort of thing, but technically, this is what they're allowed to do. That's what they're going to do. Is there a date for you, Duke, where you have to have a new head coach in place? Like where it just gets to the point where you're like, we can't wait for Cassidy. We have to go get this guy in the system.
I'm not a huge believer in the notion that you need to have a head coach like when your team's drafting, right? I think that's more of an NFL thing because of the coach having so much input onto personnel. And it changes a little bit team to team, of course, too. But in the NHL, you don't hear that as much. There's rare cases where the head coach is heavily involved in those processes. But I think it's more a matter of just like get this settled and kind of tucked away and quit having it be a continued distraction for your executives when they're at the draft and then they're talking to media and this comes up time and time again. I kind of thought that time had already passed, but at this point, if you've come this far, are you almost in just wait and see? Like, yeah, the Leafs haven't hired anybody. The Kings haven't hired anybody. Seems like everybody's just waiting for the first shoe to drop and then make a move. Do you have a reason to be that first shoe to make a move instead of just continuing to wait and get some real clarity on Bruce Cassidy once the Vegas Golden Knights season is concluded? At this point, I'm not going to be surprised if that's the route they take. I think they might wait it out long term here.
You want to get the right guy in place, for sure. MTR says scheme matters in football. That's why you need a coach in place. Yeah, and for that as well, like you're getting things going, but also in the draft, you guys are going to be playing immediately.
Playing right here, like if and especially if you're the Oilers, you look at the lifespan of their most recent coaches. By the time they even a first round pick if they had one at the back end, you might not play for that coach ever.
Yeah,
that coach might be long gone by the time they wrap up their junior career, year of seasoning in the AHL, right? Like I said, the Oilers have had pretty quick turnover with the last couple guys.
A lot of cases, you could even say that's like for general manager. Like,
yeah,
I'm going to draft you, but I might never see you play in this organization. It's. Imitation Tom says, speaking of albums with one songs, my mom had a CD with just Mambo No. 5. 14 different versions.
Are they in different languages? Does he have a different, like, change the names of the girls every time?
I don't know.
I'd be interested to hear that. I love Mambo No. 5. Just puts you in a good mood.
It's, yeah.
I might play that tomorrow on the show.
Honestly, like, at the time, I didn't love it, but I think now I might have more of an appreciation.
Little
for it.
overplay.
Yeah, it was
wore thin on you.
It was a hit. Lou Bamba?
No. Memba?
Vega?
Lou Bega.
We
were close.
We got there eventually with the help of Google. Thanks for joining us. So appreciate it. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Low Tide up next right now. Sports 1440 update with the Duke, brought to you by Wilhock Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky, online at willhockbeefjerky.com. Only available in the Duke.
The Sports 1440 update.
Game 1 of the 2026 Stanley Cup Finals getting underway tonight from Raleigh, North Carolina. Hurricanes hosting the Vegas Golden Knights. Puck drop coming just after 6 o'clock. Jeremy Lauzon expected to drop back into the Vegas D core. Off the ice, Nashville Predators hiring Avalanche GM Chris McFarland as their new president and general manager. McFarland was granted permission to speak with the Predators just in the past 24 hours. Joe Sakic will resume GM duties along with his president of hockey operations role with the Avalanche. In Columbus, Zach Werenski named this year's winner of the Norris Trophy as the league's top defenseman, beating out the likes of Cale Makar, finished second, Rasmus Dahlin in third. The Oilers' Evan Bouchard finished fourth in this year's voting. From the PWHL, Seattle Torrent have signed Alex Carpenter forward to a 3-year contract, which nets her as one of the 3 players that will be protected ahead of the upcoming expansion draft. And in the majors today, full slate of games, including the Blue Jays opening a set in Atlanta against the Braves. Kevin Gausman on the hill for Toronto. Bryce Elder countering for the Braves. First pitch scheduled for 5:15. You can catch that right here on Sports 1440. Joined in progress at the conclusion of the Jason Greger Show. Elsewhere, Detroit in Tampa Bay. Boston hosting the Orioles. Cleveland is up against the Yankees from the Bronx. Athletics play the Cubbies from Wrigley. And the Seattle Mariners continue their set hosting the New York Mets. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is the Lowdown with Low